Hi, Christopher. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Some people have tuned into these streams later, uh, and they don't know what I'm doing when I say hi to people. I say hello to people when they join. When someone becomes a member, I always give them a hello to thank them for just signing on. So if I take a moment to say something to somebody, that's what I'm doing, just so you know. Today has been a crazy day. All my plans went out the window when I checked my email this morning, and I saw that Disney had given me the screener for Hamilton. And it was tomorrow. The embargo lifts tomorrow at 9 a.m. And it's a very long movie. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I had to, and I wanted to, I can't do a night review for a review that's going to debut during the day. So I had to watch it. It took my whole work day to watch it and then write the review and then film the review. Hey, Russ RH11, new member. And that was just really, really hard to do. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the three stories of the day. And then, of course, as always, for the final 10 minutes of the stream, you can ask me anything that you would like. Also, back to Hamilton for a moment, just so you know, we're not going to do a watch-along for Hamilton. Now that I've seen the movie, it's too long. 2 hours and 40 minutes is a crazy long watch-along. Hey, Jim Williams, new member. And then, on top of it being very long, the other problem is that it's like just wall-to-wall singing. There's no dialogue. So I think it would be inappropriate for me to talk over Hamilton, which is, of course, the whole point of a watch-along. If I can't talk to you, what's the point of doing a watch-along together? So that is why I decided not to do it. I felt that it was just inappropriate. That's why. So, and I want to be respectful because it's a very important musical, honestly. But that's why. Yeah, it's especially the first act. It's basically an opera. So anyway, my review will go up tomorrow at 9 a.m. I couldn't sing along. I mean, I have to rap along most of the time, as you know, and I think that would not be good for me to do. So that's why. But just also, I want you to prepare. It's a very, very, very long movie if you're planning to watch it. I will review it, and the review will go up tomorrow at 9 a.m. I cannot talk to you anymore about it, though. I'm under strict embargo. I can't even tweet about it in terms of my opinion until 9 a.m. tomorrow. All right, so we got 3 stories, and then, of course, anything you want to ask me at the end of the stream. Let's do a quick where's everybody watching from so I can give some shout-outs. I always like to give me some shout-outs. The movie lover is eating Tim Hortons in Vancouver. Hi, Spencer. Cartoon Serbia is in Serbia, as always. Christopher is in Northern Ireland. Brandon is in Hemet, California, while Morgan is in, where was that? It's going so fast. Morgan Dorfer is in Birmingham, UK. Lily is having a nice glass of water. Good for you. Scorpio Dan is early drinking in Jackson, Mississippi. Let's see here. Rose is in Los Angeles eating apple slices. Good for you. Guy is watching from Nantwich, England. Lloyd started detox in Virginia by limiting alcohol intake and focusing on sleep and drinking more water. That's good for you. Good for you. Wes is chilling in his new house in Stafford, Virginia. George Alexander is having tea and toast in London. George was a guest on the Call-In show yesterday. Oh, that Scatterbrain just finished watching Speed Racer, one of my favorite movies in India. Tari, who was also on the stream yesterday, still in London where not enough people are wearing masks. Isn't that the story everywhere? Stu Pew Pew is having a vanilla milkshake. Oh my God, in Essex. I'm so jealous. I wish I had a milkshake. I really try not to eat dairy. I've treated myself for the 4th of July holiday, and I ordered some ice cream sandwiches, which I'm very excited about. It's hard because I'm just one person, so whenever I order food, it's for just one. But of course, most food is sold for groups of people. Anase is in Phoenix eating tacos. Platinum Diva is in Dallas. Czech Film Fantastic is in Ireland in an empty home. Let's see here. Dylan's birthday is on the 4th of July. Dairy is something you really shouldn't eat if you're an adult. You should eat dairy like occasionally to treat yourself, but dairy is really for children to grow their brains and to help grow their bones. But adults aren't really supposed to eat it. It's the dairy industry that pushes it. If you stop eating dairy, you don't have to like go cold turkey. You can have like cheese or a little something here and there. But if you just kind of cut dairy out of your diet try a month. I think even within a week you'll see incredible differences, not just in your health but in how you look. I was surprised. I was very reluctant to give up dairy. When I grew up, I was a big milk drinker. And someone said, oh, I'm giving up. Everyone in my family gave up dairy, like everyone. And I was like, everybody? And they're like, yeah, we all went to almond milk. And I was like, you're crazy. So they were like, I'm telling you, try it. So I did try it. And I was really surprised at the difference that it made right away. And so I actually, and this quarantine has made me give up soda. It's sad, but I gave it up. Daniel's having a burger and fries in Michigan City, Indiana. Yeah, I noticed a considerable difference, particularly in my appearance. I don't drink almond milk. I just don't drink any kind of milk. But I use almond milk for French toast, or if I'm making macaroni and cheese, I use almond milk. It created a significant difference in how I look. I was surprised. Surprised enough that I did stop eating dairy. I used to cheat on soda, as you know, but I had a bad experience with soda too, so that's what made me give up soda. It affected my vision, actually. And freaked me out. So that got me to stop drinking soda. I don't do it for good reasons, but I still do it. Yeah, just try it. If you don't see a difference in how you look or how you feel, go back. You can always start having dairy again. Just try it. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. It's life-changing. I'd actually say that it's life-changing. All right, so let's go to ice cream is delicious, Portis, too. And I still have ice cream occasionally when I'm on holiday. All right, so let's get to today's 3 stories. And then, of course, you can ask me anything you'd like at the end of the stream. I don't drink coffee, Spencer. I only drink tea. I've never had any coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't smoke. And I don't drink alcohol either. I don't do any of those things. I don't take recreational drugs. I'm like real clean cut, to be honest with you. That's just the way it is. All right, but of course, that's just my personal choices. You can do whatever you want as long as it's not illegal. All right, so let's get to the 3 stories of the day. Where'd it go? Boop! All right, so yes, Broadway. Broadway has been trying to get back for a while. They keep, just like movies, they were, pushing their return date again and again and again. But today they were just like, you know what, forget it. We're not coming back until 2021. And so a lot of shows were supposed to debut. For instance, Hugh Jackman's The Music Man was supposed to debut this holiday season. In fact, Hugh Jackman has been quarantined in New York. Why? Because he was preparing for Music Man. I had tickets for Music Man for the holiday season. I was very, very sad. But luckily my family didn't lose the tickets. They got pushed to late July 2021. So it wasn't what we had in mind for Music Man. We wanted to see Music Man for around Christmas. They were very hard tickets to get. In fact, my family is a group of 4, and we had to split into groups of 2 to be able to get tickets for the show. It was very hard to do. And so I'm just thrilled. Yeah, Trouble in River City dancing. Hugh Jackman and Music Man is going to be amazing. So I was so thrilled that at least we didn't lose the tickets and they pushed them to July. Now, movie theaters are, of course, trying to open July 30th. And I saw a couple of you asked me on Twitter and said, hey, why can movie theaters open but Broadway can't? Well, the reasoning is that, first of all, Broadway's not going to do social distancing because it wouldn't be feasible to them. So that's one problem. You can't social distance in a Broadway theater. And you've seen how close those seats are packed together if you've ever been to a Broadway show. It's ridiculous. You make friends real fast with the people next to you. Also, it's very expensive to go to the theater. Whereas, a movie theater is what, like $10, $15 in most places? So, it's like a more casual thing. And they have multiple showings throughout the day. You can, space it out. So that's another reason. It's like 1 or maybe 2 shows a day occasionally for a theater. And, you're not going to spend like $200 to $300 or maybe even more money to risk your life. So that's one, and also to wear a mask. You're throwing a mask for $15 to go see a movie, fine. But to go and have $300 to sit with a mask and have to nobody gets dressed up for the theater anymore, which is a whole other conversation, which is sad. I think you should dress up a little bit for the theater. You don't have to ridiculously dress up for the theater. I know that's unreasonable, but you should dress a little bit for the theater. So anyway, the biggest reason though is not the audience, but the cast. You can't have Broadway actors with masks on and they can't perform for their safety with an audience and each other. So that's why. A movie is just being played on the screen. The people aren't actually there. So that's a big problem. Now, what's really also a problem is that this is really bad for the theater industry, obviously. The theater is in trouble, not only the productions and the actors, but everyone who's associated with that. The people behind the stage, the ushers, anyone who runs a restaurant nearby, although restaurants here can't open. They were supposed to be able to open on July 6th, but they just pushed them because of spikes. So we can't even open our restaurants indoors here as planned. But also hotels, if they were hoping to come back, a lot of people come to New York just for a Broadway trip. I'm sure you have too, heard of people who go to shows, and that's the whole thing they do on their trip. They just go to like 4 or 5 Broadway shows and then they leave New York. So they're not going to come if there's no Broadway. So it's really a problem. Now, I've told you before that I think there is a chance that this could happen to movie theaters as well, but they're going to keep fighting it as much as they can. Because I think it's a little irresponsible. I told you in the stream I would feel better if they would charge more for a ticket and they didn't have any food whatsoever. But they're not going to do that, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, because that's what's happening. The theater industry has a real problem. This is going to be really bad. And also with the theaters closed, you worry about the upkeep for the theaters. Hey, new member Devin Churchill. I'm going to say new member from now on so people know what I'm doing if they watch late. So yeah, so it's I think an upkeep of these theaters, and if there will be any damage and someone has to have to keep checking in on them, it's going to be very difficult. So that's what's happening with Broadway. It's a bad thing for Broadway. But, Broadway should come. People like Broadway. Devin's finally joined. That's great. I love your enthusiasm, Devin. That's fantastic. But I think the theater industry will rebound because it's a very special thing to do. It's a unique thing to do. There's only one Broadway, and it's also, again, a very expensive ticket. So when they do come back, and that's another thing. I think, people's ability to afford to go to the theater right now is probably not very good. So I think that's very tough. All right, so that's the first story of the day. Here we go. Boop. All right, so this is ridiculous. All right, so, Kartik says that they're a new member as well. I guess you didn't join during the stream, but welcome. Some people join not when I'm not live, but I'm so happy to have new members. All right, so anyway, it was announced today, and I tweeted about this. I tweeted, WTF, haha, because this is so stupid. So the Academy today decided that agents, who, by the way, were already associate members. So what are associate members? Well, that means that agents could be members of the Academy and get the screeners and go to all the Academy events with the talent giving interviews and stuff like that, get all the cool food. Some of these, I'm a Critics' Choice member, and I got to tell you, these events are pretty sweet. So anyway, they could do all that. They just couldn't vote. But today, the Academy decided that, you know what? You can vote too. You can vote for, now how does this work? Some people are like, don't worry, people only vote in their own category. Well, the thing is you only vote, hey, new member Paola Lazora. The thing is you only vote in your category for the nominations. Once the nominations are decided, everyone votes for the winners in every category. That's how it works. So you get to vote for every category once they've been whittled down to the nominees. So the agents will get to vote. I mean, there's no Best Agent Award, so they won't vote for the nominations, but they will get to vote for the winners in each and every category. Now, some people are saying, well, hey, publicists could already vote, so well, this is just a little bit further away. But I gotta tell you, agents are a special breed of people. But first off, I want to point out that the reason it's being given in the trades is that the Academy is desperate to increase their diversity numbers. So they feel that if they let in all these agents, that'll help them. Now, agencies have come under fire for not being very diverse when it comes to ethnicity, but they are diverse when it comes to gender. So I guess it'll at least help the Academy in that respect. I do agree, a number of you have brought up the stunt category, and it's pretty insulting that agents get to vote before and be recognized before stunt people do. But also maybe it's easier for agents because agents don't get an actual award. They just get to vote. They're just a voting block. Now, block voting is where this becomes a problem. Now, of course, anyone can vote for their own movie that they've made themselves or their friends, but it's not the same level of mobilization as an agency. So agencies not only have clients, but they also have movies now that they produce and television shows. Agencies produce content now. It's one of the reasons that the unions are upset with them, like the Writers Guild and the Directors Guild. They're very upset with agencies because they feel that's a conflict of interest. Because oftentimes agents are negotiating deals for their clients with the agency because the agency is the one hiring their own clients. So it's very, very complex and a little unethical as is. So what an agency could do is they could say, you know what, we've decided within the agency, the higher-ups have decided that this film that we produced is the one we're going to push to be the big winner. So we're going to tell everybody who's an agent, who's in the block, who's an Academy voting member, to vote for that. And that's where you have a problem because there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money at stake with the awards. A film that wins awards can sell more tickets and helps people's careers. And of course, that money trickles down to the agency because they represent that person. So I think it's a huge conflict of interest, and I'm shocked that they would allow this to happen. I think it just further whittles away at the legitimacy of the Oscars, and I wish the Oscars would work harder to protect that legitimacy. Because pretty soon they're going to turn just into the Golden Globes, quite frankly. And everyone knows you can buy a Golden Globe. I'm sorry, but it's true. Ricky Gervais wasn't lying. All right, so that's the second story of the day. All right, so here's the third story of the day. Here we go. Boop! All right, so a movie came on the radar today, which is absolutely shocking to me. I've never heard of this movie. It comes from a studio I've never heard of, 101 Studios, but it has an amazing cast. So as you can see, it stars Robert De Niro right there. That's Robert De Niro facing off with this cute little kid, Oakes Fegley, who you first saw in Pete's Dragon. He's done a couple of other things. And so the movie is called The War with Grandpa. Now, at first, it just seems like this is another paycheck gig for Robert De Niro. We thought he moved past them. Did he? I think he did, because this sounds pretty amazing. So not only does it star Robert De Niro, but it also stars Uma Thurman, Christopher Walken, re-teaming with Robert De Niro since Deer Hunter, Eugene Levy, and Rob Riggle. These are excellent. That's an excellent, excellent cast. But it gets even better. So this is based on a children's book, and it's called, again, The War with Grandpa. So this little boy gets along really well with his grandpa. He loves his grandpa. They're good friends. But one day, his grandpa has to move in with the family, and he takes this little boy's most prized possession, his room. So this little boy's very angry to have lost his room, having his own room to his grandpa, so he decides to start a practical joke war to get back at his grandpa. And his grandpa says, "Oh, it's on." This sounds absolutely amazing to me. This will play in theaters, which I think is their first mistake. It plays in theaters starting September 18th, opening opposite The King's Man. I feel if this were to play on streaming or on PVOD, Premium Video on Demand, it would be huge. It's got a great cast. It has a great title. It has a fantastic setup. I feel the only problem is that it's in theaters, because I don't think anybody would risk their life for that movie. But they would certainly stream it in a heartbeat. All right, so I just wanted to, it was a slow news day, and I thought that was a great project to bring to your attention. All right, so let me get rid of that little marker. Caesar says that's literally what happened to me, and my grandpa became my best friend. Oh, that's adorable. That's wonderful. Caesar Coronado, by the way, just joined yesterday. Fantastic name. Or the other day. I think maybe actually Caesar, I think you actually might have joined on Friday. But that's a great name. I remembered it. But anyway, I think that I just wanted to bring that to your attention. All right, so sorry, my allergies are acting up a little bit, so I'm a little off today. All right, so it's 5:24. You may ask me anything you would like until 5:34, and then I have to edit the Harley Quinn spoiler review finally, and then I will edit my Hamilton review. I got to tell you, this coronavirus situation with the quarantining and stuff happening, it like throws me a curveball every day. It's really hard. George Alexander says, Grace, thoughts on all the DC fandom Q&As? They say they're going to be live, and maybe some of them will be, but they obviously don't have the capacity for chat. Or maybe they don't want to have chat, which I can see, because you can't control somebody trolling you. So they're taking the questions in advance, which I understand even more so now that I just thought of the trolling thing. So I think it's great. Get your questions in. They're not going to answer every question, but they might answer yours, so you might as well try it. Oh, hey, Captain Keen. I'm glad you just got here, and thanks for the kind words. Thomas Hastings, new member. That's a cool picture. Hale Anthony says, I finally made it to a live stream. Let's see here. Let's see. I'd like to watch something if we do our next watch along. I'd like to be something I haven't seen recently. Okay. Oh, by the way, they announced today they're bringing the X-Men movies to Disney Plus every Friday. Like they're bringing a new one or a couple of them over the rest of the summer. So that'll be nice. Portis 2 says, Grace, did you finish Little Fires Everywhere? What were your thoughts? I did. I now am a Hulu subscriber, and I loved it. I thought it was really great. It's super trashy. All the characters are unlikable. Reese Witherspoon is bravely and boldly playing the Karenest Karen you've ever seen, and she was fantastic. And so was Kerry Washington. A great show. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. I watched it like in 3 days. I loved it. If you start it, beware, you won't be able to stop. And it's super trashy, but I loved it. Zeester says, my grandfather thinks you're really smart. He watched one of your videos with me. Oh, that's so sweet. Say hi to your grandpa for me, Zeester. Kenneth Lee says, why is so much content leaving HBO Max so quickly? I think they wanted to have a certain look when they launched, and then they just don't have it for long enough. So I think that's what you're seeing there. You know what else? Platinum Diva said she also loved Little Fires Everywhere. Do you know what else I discovered was on Hulu today? I Love Lucy. Oh my God, I'm definitely going to watch I Love Lucy. If I need like a little breakfast, something to watch, I really liked having short half-hour content. And so now that the Sundays doesn't have new Simpsons or Family Guy episodes, I don't have anything. But now with Hulu, I have Golden Girls, Seinfeld, and I Love Lucy. Oh my God, it's amazing. I'm sorry I ever said anything bad about Hulu. Cedric, I am going to review Cursed. Okay, these are the things. I got a bunch of Netflix screeners today. So I'm going to review Hamilton tomorrow. Then on Thursday, I'm going to review Warrior Nun because it has an incredible trailer. And then, I'm sorry I missed these trailers. I told you, it's been sometimes, it's very hard with all this stuff going on personally. And then on Friday, I'm going to review Desperados, the Nassim Pedrad movie that I talked about on Movie Math yesterday. So I got those screeners. And then I'm going to review Curse, but I'm going to ask for that screener closer to the date. I have to also now work on getting the Old Guard screener for Charlize Theron's new movie, which comes out July 10th. July 10th, there's a lot of stuff coming out. That's the next big movie date. Hey, Yusuf. Oh, a new Curse trailer comes tomorrow? I'll review it if it's tomorrow. I'll react to it. I'll put that in my notes. Thank you. Megan, I did watch Narcos. I watched the first season of Narcos, which I thought was quite good. Oh, Spencer, it's your birthday on July 2nd. How exciting. Yeah, Cormac, the Harley Quinn spoiler review today. As soon as we stop the stream, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to edit it. First, I'm going to move Coronavirus Mountain, and then I'll edit it. Let's see here. Do I have a favorite horror film, Fidel? I think it would be The Shining. I really love that movie. Jeremiah says, how are screeners delivered, physical or digital? I find that so interesting. They're moving to digital. All of Netflix's screeners are digital. For my first year as a Critics' Choice member, which was really cool, I got both digital and, with your Critics' Choice member, you get digital screeners, but also some physical screeners. but they also have a lot of screenings. They'd like you to come and see it in person. So for a lot of the screeners that I got, I'd already seen it at a press screening. But I think the industry is moving to digital because it's easier to protect from piracy. Whenever I would throw out a screener, I had to destroy it because it's coded to me. So I didn't want to get in trouble. No trouble in this River City, I'll tell you that right now. Anna, I'll think about having another watch along. I have to say the optics on it are tough. Like I was thinking of doing 1776 for 4th of July, but I don't want to replace my Hamilton watch along with an all-white 1776 4th of July watch along. You see what I'm saying? So we might have to have a watch along next week instead. Joseph, I wouldn't say 2020 is my least favorite year. It's certainly interesting. It's certainly memorable. I never thought I would be living during an actual historical event that seemed like a movie. But I mean, I think I'm fortunate in some ways, and so I'm trying to be sensitive, of course, to people who aren't. I mean, it's a tough year. It's all going to hinge on November. As Beyonce says, vote. Hey, Richard reports. Let's see here. I put it on slow mode, but boy, it's going fast. Oh, Daniel says, what about watching Glory? Glory is a very good movie. You guys want to see me cry live? Let me see. Let's see here. 4th of July plans, Lloyd? I'm going to be sitting in here. I'm going to be sitting in here doing watching 1776 because I've already saw Hamilton. That's what I'm going to do. My 4th of July plans. I also in the running are Disney's Johnny Tremaine, which isn't on Disney Plus for some stupid reason. If I want to watch Johnny Tremaine, I've got to pay for it on iTunes. Johnny Tremaine is a fantastic Disney-fied Technicolor movie. It's great. So, but I think I'm going to watch 1776. I'd also like to watch Ben and Me, that Disney short cartoon, which featured Benjamin Franklin and his little mouse friend, which I remember watching as a kid. But that's not on Disney Plus either. I'm hoping they add some 4th of July content this week because these are things I would like to watch, which for some stupid reason aren't on the service. So I want to watch those things. I've ordered chicken hot dogs and watermelon and potato chips. So, and I make iced tea. I'm going to make iced tea. So that's what I'm planning to do. I actually just watched Independence Day, Tabitha. I'm sorry to say. Like last year. It was fun. MJC says, what Broadway shows have you seen? I've seen a lot because I'm fortunate enough to live in New York. I have seen, although I miss the producers. I miss the producers in Hamilton, which I'm a little annoyed about to some degree. Hamilton was so expensive, but I was upset that I missed the producers. What have I seen? Recently I saw Lobby Hero with Chris Evans, which was really cool. I took my picture with Sterling K. Brown, who was in the audience, which I posted online. I was so excited. I was like, Sterling K. Brown! And he was very nice and was nice to people who came up to him before the show. So I saw that. That was one of the most recent things that I saw. I saw Bryan Cranston in Network, where my family got to sit on the stage. That was really cool because they had some audience members in a restaurant on the stage. We were extras. So that was a cool thing to do. I tweeted pictures about that too. I try to share my experiences. And also I have to say, I saw The Irishman. I saw it twice. I saw The Irishman at the New York Film Festival at Alice Tully Hall, which was an amazing experience. And then I saw it again, which was even better experience at a Broadway show, which I loved. It was so good. I absolutely adored seeing it. That was a great experience, although our seats were too close. I thought they would put the screen they would put it in a little bit, but it went to the edge of the stage. So if you're in the 3rd row, well, that's a great seat for a play. It is a horrible seat for watching a movie. I did watch Hollywood. I'm sorry, my allergies are giving me a little bit of a contact lens problem. I reviewed it on a stream. Oh, Jaws! Jaws is a pretty good watch-along for 4th of July. That is a 4th of July movie. Maybe Jaws. That's a good idea, Mandela Butterfly. That's a good idea. Maybe we'll do. Is there an interest in Jaws for a? Hey, Ronnie KL, is there an interest in Jaws for a watch-along party? Oh, Tech Noir really likes that. Kyle also likes Jaws. Sean's like, no, 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 no. Check Film Fantastic. You've never seen Jaws. Yeah, some people don't. People like it, some people don't. Let's see if it's on a streaming service. If people have to pay for it, that's going to kill this. Let's see. Hold on. Let me check. Jaws streaming. Who has it? HBO Max has Jaws? Let me check. Do they really? I gotta tell you, I like HBO Max. I think it's pretty darn good. Their classic films section is ridiculous. They do have it! So that means it's on HBO too. All right, we'll do Jaws. All right, we'll do Jaws. We'll do Jaws on Friday instead. Dum 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 dum. That'll be fun. Now I'm excited. I think a 2 hour and 40 minute watch along is just. I'm sorry we couldn't do Hamilton, but that's just so long. It's just so. That's such a long watch along. It would be so hard to be on for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Oh my God. All right, so that's what we'll do. Well, Sean, you could always rent Jaws, but you know you can get it for free through HBO or HBO Max. It's on regular HBO too, I'm sure. Oh, it's 5:36. Okay, I'll do 2 more questions, and then we'll do Jaws. That's great. That's a great idea. Thanks, everybody. Do I fall asleep watching movies sometimes? I do, Sufjan. I fell asleep during The Irishman, to be honest with you, when I watched it for the first time at Alice Tully Hall. It was so long, I had to get up so early to go and see it. I nodded off for a second. But it's very rare to fall asleep. Best DCU show, Kenneth? That's a tough call. I think it's tied between Doom Patrol and Harley Quinn. Those 2 shows are just amazing. Oh, Kyle, Ad Astra. I loved Ad Astra, but I can totally see that. Chico says, should I check out Mrs. America or Little Fires Everywhere? Both. They're both incredible television. Who fell asleep during a watch-along? Josh Loves Movies fell asleep during Ready Player One. Oh, Jeremiah says The Princess and the Frog watch-along. Well, that's such a cozy movie. I'm not surprised. And as I told you, the Doom Patrol episode on Thursday is so inappropriate. It's so HBO. It goes like full orgy. And I was like, what am I watching? Matt says, Grace, how do you balance out your professional and personal life? Well, as you can see, sometimes quite poorly. As you can see, I've really dropped the ball the last week, I'd say. Like, I feel really bad about it. But I'm working on it. I'm working on getting back on track. It's hard when someone throws me a curveball or like something happens that I didn't expect to get I thought I would get the screener for Hamilton and be able to watch it this evening, and maybe the embargo would lift at noon tomorrow. But it didn't. It lifts at 9 a.m., so that required me to watch it during the day. It's very rare to have such a short turnaround time on a review. But yeah, so that was weird. Oh, that's a good question, Adolfo. Adolfo says, I'm going to be able to go back to my regular setup, I believe, probably when we enter, like after the 4th of July. Or when New York City enters phase 3, I think that should be okay. But the reason I can't sit on the sofa is that it would be a very boring background behind me. Also, I'd have to build a giant tower to get the computer high enough. Like, it would be very hard to get this high enough to film correctly. You'll notice that a lot of people who are filming from home film themselves from underneath. That's a really unflattering way to shoot yourself. So you have to always film yourself from above. So I have to have a high enough platform to be above. So that's another problem. Then also, it would be really, really not good to have just my white wall behind me. I think it would be very boring to look at. But here you have the blanket, you've got the sofa. I like having like something for you guys to look at. I like having some textures. So that's why I do it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. That's today's stream. I will see you tomorrow. There will be a stream tomorrow at 4 o'clock. All right? And so, yes, Jaws will be the new setup on, the new watch-along on Friday. All right, my allergies really bothering me. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Bye.